All right, welcome back, fans of the media. No, not. That doesn't work. Anyway, my name is Dave. I am known as Harmless Dave. Talking about Putin and Russia and Ukraine and State of the Union and the media narrative, which goes from one psychological operation to the next. All right. Now, I'm getting a lot of pushback on my views on Vladimir Putin. So for all of those people who disagree with me, what's the best way to deal with Putin? Do we make him angrier? Do we keep doing the sanctions? Do we de-platform him? Do we debank him? I mean, what is it that we need to do to lower the temperature of this situation? And why on God's green earth do we want to get involved with another quagmire in the Ukraine, right? Now, I've got people from both sides of this. You know, I've got friends in the Ukraine or Ukraine. I don't know. Some people say the Ukraine. Some people say Ukraine. I don't know. I'm just going to try to say Ukraine. But in any event, and people have got relatives, and depending in which area of Ukraine, they have differing views on what's happening. And you can't say that this isn't naked aggression, right? I'm not claiming that Putin is a swell guy and, you know, trustworthy and, you know, the best human being you've ever met. But I'm not going to apologize for doing a comparison between what our government has been doing, for instance, what the Canadian government has been doing. And this is, by the way, to their own citizens. This isn't the old Soviet Union anymore. And it seems that Putin may be concerned with some stuff that's happening in Ukraine, right? But what's the solution to the problem? Do we go to war? Do we escalate this? Yes, I know people will say, well, he's threatening nuclear annihilation now. Yeah, that's really scary. And I'm hoping all of that is a bluff to get people to just back off and let him do what he's doing. I'm okay. I don't think we should get involved in this at all. And again, I'm a libertarian on foreign policy. And I've been a libertarian no matter what, pretty much going back and forth with different views on economics and how to fix certain problems in the country. But I think our endless involvement in foreign entanglements is something that the founding fathers vehemently frowned upon, all right? And we can't even manage our own affairs in this country. And I know that's a very simplistic and Neanderthal, and you don't know what you're talking about. You know, I was told that, you know, I don't know too much about anything regarding politics, and maybe I should just stick to the music channel. And I'm laughing because, you know, maybe it's true. You don't have to watch this channel. And by the way, if you don't like the commentary that I'm doing, why do you keep watching it? You know, go watch something. Go watch. There's 100 like neoliberal, neoconservative things that you can tune into to get your point validated. Why is it your job to try to convince me, right, when already like 90, because I'm going to sway somebody? Is this like the news media? Well, he's spreading dangerous misinformation about Vladimir Putin. I'm not doing anything about Putin. All I'm saying is I can see his point, but war is still wrong. That's my Cliff Notes version. I see his point, but war is wrong. So the next question is, how do we stop it? Or should we stop it? Or should we intervene? I don't trust our government. I don't trust them to do anything. They can't even evacuate a country properly. Little kids say, yeah, take the troops out last. That's how you evacuate a country. You don't take them out before that. You take them out last. You get all of the other stuff, logistics stuff out. You get your, you know, citizen population that's there. You get them out, and then you pull the troops out. All right, but we didn't do that. We screwed that up. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, all right, Monday morning quarterbacks. All right, so if you've got the ball and you're the quarterback, what do you do? What do you do with Putin? Seriously, the sanctions, more sanctions, I don't think that's going to work, number one. So what do? Do we launch a nuclear weapon? I mean, that would be insanity. And this is what some people are saying. There was a senator, of course, a Republican senator from, like, I don't know, Louisiana or Nebraska, somewhere, maybe Mississippi, who said something like, yeah, we need to, show who's boss here. And if we've got to use nukes, we need, and this was before any of this started. Okay. So we had intelligence, obviously, because these bozos were getting briefed with it, and they knew what was coming. They knew that Putin was going to do this. And this is just such a great narrative to unite the country. This is what they're trying to do, right? This is what they, meaning the party of Davos, we'll call them that, they're basically trying to set up a new narrative. The COVID narrative is going to end during the State of the Union tonight and into tomorrow. It's going to end. All right. Some states, they will refuse to kind of back away from some of this stuff. But what's going to happen is all of these restrictions and the truckers that are heading to DC, number one, it's probably a trap. All right. I love you guys, but it could be a trap. I would be very careful. Number two, if they're pulling down all, and I know the emergency declarations are still in place. All right. And I think what should be done is going through the courts to get those things dropped. And I think you would have more success than doing the caravan across the country. Do I think the caravan is a good thing in general? Yeah, I do, because these people are fed up. But what this is all about moving forward isn't COVID. All right. It's almost like these trucks are going to show up a day late and $1 short. And I don't mean to be like negative about it, but I don't see any real positive outcome, especially after witnessing what happened in Canada. I mean, they've got vehicles all around DC, troop carriers. I've seen pictures of them. See, our country loves to militarize stuff. They love to militarize police forces. They love to bring in these special forces and the National Guard and all this stuff. And then, of course, yes, we need to start to send troops over to Ukraine to deal with Putin. Are you insane? Are you insane? And by the way, during all of this, I think we've dropped a few bombs on Syria while all of this has unfolded. By the way, no international outcry against the United States when we drop bombs in Syria or Somalia or anywhere else around the world. You hear these countries in the news every so often. And yeah, the US had a little scuffle in Somalia where we leveled a village or something. And that's not really news, because it's us. And that's what we do. I mean, folks, if you're not onto the fact that war is a racket, and it's been a racket for a long time, if you didn't heed Eisenhower's farewell address, and I know it's overquoted, beware of the military-industrial complex. He was trying to give people a warning on his way out, and he had an opportunity to do that. And I'm sure, he paid the price to some degree after that, but, he was done. He had served his country. He had seen it all. And he said, these people are really the people you need to fear. And that was what, 60 years ago? 60 years ago, 61 years ago. And we're still talking about it now, because they've had what? Generations to just keep building this and make excuses. Look, I don't know what to do with Putin. That's my answer. I'm going to give you the real, because, I don't know that much. So here's my answer. I don't know what to do with Putin. Don't know. All right. It's my pay grade. Not very much. I make a couple of bucks a day off the channel. I'm lucky. You know what I'm saying? So that's way below my pay grade. Well, it's above my pay grade, as you could see, but I'm saying, if you're basing your information gathering off of this channel, you really should go and look elsewhere, right? Because I'm just giving content, giving opinion on this situation, and I don't know what to do with Putin. I'm thinking this is a fire that's going to eventually burn itself out. That's what I think. If we don't fuel it more, if we pour gasoline or whatever on the fire, you could have a nuclear conflict. You could have something which you would shake your head and go, uh-oh, Why did we continue to poke that bear? Because that's what we're doing. Now, again, I would just advise folks, if you don't like the content, don't watch it. If you're going to leave nasty comments, don't, because I'm eventually going to say, you know what? You're just here to bring me down and to make me feel like crap, because you're not going to just sway me by throwing all of the talking points at me that I've heard for, I don't know, 30 years or so since HW. Since HW, we've been in this cycle of, gee, where's the next thing we can take over? What's the other country that we can remake in our own image? Gee, we got to keep that stock market up. Boy, I hope we can support Raytheon and Northrop Grumman and all the people that they're just great patriots that make all of this military hardware for other countries like Afghanistan. We left what? Something like $2.5 billion worth of equipment in Afghanistan. I think we could have cured a few problems here in the country with that money for those people who lost their jobs, were forced out of work, and who were ruined during the pandemic, not to mention the fact that psychological torture and scarring is going to last probably a lifetime in some cases. So yeah, I'm a little fired up. I might be wrong about stuff because, again, I don't really know that much. So I'm just putting it out there. I should really stick to my music channel and stop, doing this, because it's a waste of time, obviously.